After a Final Four run last season, Maryland field hockey finds itself in a similar position this season. We'll take a look into the Terp season thus far and preview the postseason play that lies ahead, coming up on the Left Bench in Focus.
Our vigilance, our absolute heart, our fire from the beginning, and our willingness to link all the lines together.
The defender was coming, and I simply literally just took my stick like this, and then it was just like old school softball swing, just having fun.
Welcome back to the Left Bench in Focus, presented by Terrapin Sports Central. I'm Eddy Calkins. That is Brendan Weissel, and for the first time ever, we're behind the desk, Brendan.
That's right, Eddie. Let's have some fun and dive right into this Maryland field hockey program that once again made noise in the Big Ten. Some of that noise came this past weekend when Maryland defeated Iowa and Rutgers to advance to the Big Ten Tournament Championship. The Terps went into Sunday's matchup looking to break the 3-game losing streak against Northwestern, but they fell short of their third Big Ten tournament title. The offense from the Wildcats was on display early with 5 first-quarter shots, but Terps goalkeeper Alyssa Klobosco made save after save to keep the game tied. In the second quarter, Maryland's defense stepped up, allowing Klobosco to rest as she faced no shots. With the game tied at the end of regulation, the champion would be decided in overtime. With 6 minutes to go in the first overtime, it looked like Northwestern would win it, but Klobosco continued to keep Maryland's chances alive. With 2 minutes left in the second OT period, Olivia Bent-Cole snuck it past Klobosco and gave the Wildcats the win in the Big Ten tournament title. Here's head coach Missy Maharg after the double overtime loss.
We had a great tournament, and we've learned so much from this tournament. This is our second time in the whole season we've gone to 77, and, you learn a lot from that opportunity. We were grit, and we had every chance to win the game. I mean, we had, 4 shots in overtime, right? So we had chances to win this game and to raise the trophy. It just didn't go our way.
Sunday night, the NCAA Selection Committee named College Park a host site for the second consecutive year. The Plex is one of 4 regional sites that play host to the first 2 rounds of this year's tournament. After this weekend's matches, the remaining 4 teams head to Chapel Hill, North Carolina for the Final Four and the championship matches. This year's College Park Regional includes the Terps, Old Dominion, Virginia, and St. Joseph's.
Maryland will take on Old Dominion on Friday at 12 p.m. here in College Park in the first round of the NCAA tournament. The Monarchs and the Terps are familiar opponents despite having not faced off since 2016. Maryland leads the all-time series 22-12. The 17th-ranked Monarchs go into Friday's matchup hoping to extend a 12-game winning streak. Old Dominion has not lost since September 22nd, and in that time they have beat fellow tournament teams William and Mary and Liberty. Old Dominion secured its spot in the NCAA tournament by winning its first ever Big East title by defeating 6th-ranked Liberty 3-1. The Monarchs have won 9 total NCAA championships in its history, but haven't raised the trophy since 2000. Our Kurt Masline will have coverage of the game on Friday.
Got this very older, experienced group that has all this experience, and you've got these guys that are kind of so innocent, a little bit naive. To their credit, it's fantastic, and they're just kind of being led really favorably. And the middle guys are just so supportive, and it's a wonderful group, and they've been a pleasure to coach. And many times one might say we've kind of gone a little bit in front of what maybe some of the early September expectations were, but that's because they believe.
We're now very excited to be joined by TSC's very own field hockey beat writer, Eden Binder.
Happy to be on. Thanks for having me, guys.
Alrighty, Eden, I want to start with really the only place we can start, Alyssa Klobosco. She's been the freshman goalkeeper for this Terps really since the start of Big Ten play. What makes her so good?
Well, Alyssa Klobosco, she's always been a winner. She's always been a phenomenal player. She was All-State, All-Region, All-American coming out of high school. She's the best of the best, and the Big Ten's the best of the best. So she's always I think had that in her, and then the way that she plays, she's ready to compete there, and she's been ready since day one, and I think she really showed it against Northwestern. She's a big reason why that team was in there so long, and she was really able to build on her performance, and also she's a freshman. I think she's got a drive to prove herself, and I think she's got the talent to back that up.
So the 2022 and the 2023 teams have almost identical records heading into the NCAA tournament, but the way they've won games has been a bit different. So what are the biggest differences you've seen in the 2 teams?
Well, just the 2022 team was so offensively heavy. They were going to come out there and they were going to put 3-4 games a night on you. They were going to put 3 to 4 goals a night on you. And then this team, they're going to score maybe more like 1 to 2 goals, but they've got the defense to back it up. Rain Wright, Maura Verweg, team captains, lead the defense. They've been phenomenal. Weissel has also been phenomenal. But also, this is a much younger team. They have an entirely new midfield this year. Last year's team was really dominated by seniors and graduate students. This year, Hope Rose is obviously a big continuing factor, but they've got a much younger team this year that's inexperienced, but again, they've all really got talent and they've all got the hunger to prove themselves, and they may not be scoring that much, but they're backing it up with their defense.
Yes, we know Maryland got the number 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. I was talking to Missy at practice earlier, and she said that she was kind of surprised they got the 4 seed. She thought an ACC team would sneak in there, but now Maryland gets to host. They get to stay in their own bed, she said. They get to train together, stay in the facility together, no travel. So how did Maryland get this number 4 seed?
Well, Maryland finished the season very strong. I know they had that loss against Northwestern 5-1. That was not a great game for them. But besides for that, they beat Iowa. They were on, I think, a 6-game win streak, something like that, before they came in against Northwestern. And then they didn't let that Northwestern loss get to them. They were able to beat Iowa, and then they were able to beat Rutgers, close game. They lost in the regular season, but they were able to build on their performance, and then they were able to take the best team in the country to double overtime. So I think that really speaks to just, Missy Maharg. She's always been a great coach. And, it's maybe the top players are a little bit different this year, but they're still top players. And I think that this is just a top team that finished really strong, and they were able to really jump up maybe a couple spots because of that strong finish.
So to wrap things up, we have to know, how far do you think they'll make it in the NCAA tournament? Can they get back to the Final Four?
I think they can definitely get back to the Final Four. I think they can go all the way. If they can play like they did against Northwestern, taking the number 1 team to double overtime is no small feat. And I think if they can play like that and they can maybe get over that hump, I think they could potentially, be winning the championship. If it's all in their hands, though.
Yeah, well, that's all we've got time for, Eden. Thank you so much for joining us. This was really, really great. We look forward to your coverage this weekend at the NCAA Regional.
Yeah, look forward to it, guys.
You can find Eden's coverage on X at @binder_Eden and online at terrapinsportscentral.com.
Now stay right here, because when we come back, TSC's Ben Wolf breaks down the Terps' recent tournament success.
And after the break, we'll also crown our MVP and look back at everyone's favorite, the top 5 plays of the season.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
It took 20 years, and I got my 3rd child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Welcome back to the Left Bench in Focus, brought to you by Terrapin Sports Central. Eddy Calkins alongside Brendan Weissel. And Brendan, the Terps have had an incredible run this year, but the real test is always in the postseason.
Yeah, Eddie, the Terps have shown they can play with the best in the nation, but it will all come down to how they can finish in the tournament.
Lucky for the Terps, they fared well in the tournament play in the past, but could this be the year, Brendan?
TSC's Ben Wolf is in Studio B to take a deeper dive into Maryland field hockey's tournament history. Ben?
Yeah, guys, Maryland has seen plenty of success in the Big Ten and NCAA tournaments in the past and are looking to add another title to their collection. Honor Missy Maharg, Maryland field hockey is quite the decorated trophy case from conference tournaments and the NCAA tournament. During her tenure, the Terps have won 12 conference tournament titles, with 10 of them coming when Maryland was a member of the ACC, and the two most recent as part of the Big Ten in 2015 and 2018. Since joining the Big Ten, Maryland has reached the Big Ten tournament final 5 times, including its crushing 1-0 double overtime defeat against number 1 seeded Northwestern this past Sunday. Northwestern has been Maryland's toughest opponent in postseason play as of late, posting a record of 2-4 against the Wildcats. The Terps now hold an overall record of 14-8 in the Big Ten tournament. Shifting over to the NCAA tournament, Maryland has won 7 national championships under Mahard, the third most all time. The most recent championship being a 3-2 overtime win over the North Carolina Tar Heels back in 2011 before the Terps entered the Big Ten. The Terps have come close to a title since, reaching the Final Four 6 times with back-to-back appearances in 2021 and 2022. But despite all this success, Maryland hasn't won the NCAA championship in 11 seasons. Maryland will now shift its focus to the 2023 tournament, hailing as the number 4 seed, taking on a historic field hockey program in Old Dominion on Friday in the first round of the Big Dance. Old Dominion is heading into Friday afternoon's matchup with momentum, having won the Big East tournament and extended their win streak to 12 straight games. The Terps will be hosting the first 2 rounds of the tournament in College Park at the Field Hockey and Lacrosse Complex. The winner of Maryland versus Old Dominion will take on the winner of the Virginia and St. Joseph's matchup and will play on Sunday. And if Maryland can learn from its mistakes from this past Sunday against Northwestern and the 2 previous NCAA tournaments, the Terps will be a force to be reckoned with this weekend. Back to you guys.
Yeah, just like Ben was talking about, Missy Maharg always creates those tough schedules so they can have success in the postseason.
And Missy Maharg, like you said, knows what to do when it comes time to tournament play, having all those championships in her back pocket.
Yeah, her players will be ready. Thanks, Ben. The NCAA tournament isn't the only place where Maryland field hockey players have found success. 3 Terps will be competing internationally this year for the U21 national team.
Our Kurt Masline has more.
If you choose to, want to, is play for your country. And that's something that I think a lot of the young women out of high school and the top clubs, they see Maryland as a place that you can do that. And
3 Maryland field hockey players, representing not just their school, but their country. Hope Rose, Rain Wright, and Josie Holloman, all members of the U21 national team. Rose and Holloman began playing with Team USA at the U16 level, and Wright joined the outdoor team about a year ago. The U21 team doesn't get to spend much time together due to the scattered roster, so that makes the time the Terps trio spend together even more valuable.
I think being able to play at both Maryland and USA together, kind of like growing at like the same time and having to make adjustments has really made us closer.
But for Hope, I feel like I've always had a super great connection with her. I mean, I know her tendencies, know what kind of things she likes to do. So it's just like, it's kind of easier to, not easier, just you know what she wants to do.
And due to the higher intensity at the international level, having former teammates who've competed for Team USA helps a lot.
You know, things get tougher. I'm playing in these games with USA, like, they were here with me in college. They went and did their thing at USA. Like, I'm going to take that and try to push myself to be the best because it pays off after a while.
The turnaround from the college postseason to this year's Women's Junior World Cup in Chile will be quick. Only 2.5 weeks separate the tournaments. But the bond that these 3 Terps have built travels further than just on the field.
It's like sisters who come and play together. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that their skill sets and the nature of how many times these guys in our backfield, snap the ball around together, it's definitely going to showcase.
For Terrapin Sports Central, I'm Kurt Masline.
Yeah, Eddie, and you know better than anybody that Missy Maharg loves those players that can play well in the international landscape.
Yeah, she's built her whole team, really the Maryland team, around this international culture. And I've done plenty of stories this semester, and it's great to see all these international talent come together, and they can play both for the Terps and internationally.
Team USA's first match at the Women's Junior World Cup will be a group play game against Japan on November 30th.
Alrighty, it is now time to name our season MVP ahead of the tournament. And Brendan, there's really only one obvious choice. We've probably said her name 100 times during the show, goalkeeper Alyssa Kilbasco. The freshman earned the starting job right before Big Ten play and absolutely took off from there. In 18 appearances this year, the Maryland native made 80 saves, including 8 shutouts. Kilbasco has posted a 13-2 record so far this season, and she is currently second in the nation with an .851 save percentage. Congrats to Kilbasco on being named our MVP.
All right, it's about time to crown our top 5 plays from this season. A lot of great plays, Eddie. Get us started.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm coming in at number 5, Macy Bradford scored in the first 3 minutes. The freshman, her first career goal against PSU. Look at that right there. 3 minutes into the game. Really a story for the Maryland team all season.
Number 4, there's no better day to score than on senior day. Margot Lon turns the goalkeeper around and gets the goal.
Yeah, and coming in at number 3, it's a Hope Rose no-looker against Michigan State. Look at that. Brennan, can you do that? I mean, just look at her going, look, no-looker right inside the back of the cage.
There's absolutely no chance I can do that. Number 2, you've probably heard her name already. Klobasco with the huge save to keep Maryland's chances at a Big Ten tournament championship alive. They don't win it, but huge save.
And coming in at number 1, Josie Holloman, her first career goal was also a game winner early in the year against number 17, Boston College. The freshman with her first career goal, just amazing. And she's had a great season along with all the rest of the freshmen for this Maryland team. Well, that will do it for today's edition of the Left Bench in Focus. Our next one will be going all in on the Maryland volleyball program.
You can keep up with all of Terrapin Sports Central coverage on X, Instagram, YouTube, and online at terrapinsportscentral.com.
See you soon.